Look at my wife using the I statements. She, all of a sudden, the stuff she learned in counseling just kicks in. I feel, I love it. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I will start getting better at listening, actively listening to you so that, we can avoid saying things like this.
There we go. Just clean your ears
And be attentive.
Yes.
I can work on that. Hello, I'm Tijani Musa.
And I'm Yazmin Musa. And this is how we're doing it.
Welcome to How We're Doing It, a podcast where two first-generation immigrants authentically share their American experiences with fun and education. Suppose you're new here, welcome and thanks for joining us. If you've been with us since day one, you are our A1 and we appreciate you. Visit howwe'redoingit.com to learn more. The details will be in the show notes. So Yazmin, what are we talking about today?
Today's episode is on premarital counseling and our experience with it.
Oh, okay. I like it. So premarital counseling, because we've always been talking about premarital counseling, how we are like proponents of premarital counseling. When we talk to our friends that are looking to get married, we talk to them about that. We share our experiences with them. We even recommend it for them because it changed our marriage.
Yeah. And we were recently in another podcast called Money Noticias, and they asked us, how did we start having the conversation around money? And I shared on that podcast how, I was little miss, don't tell me what to do with my money.
Yes.
And then we did premarital counseling and finances came up.
Yes.
And somehow I got out of making a budget. Somehow we got assigned homework, right? Like our homework was go home and the next week make a budget, come back. Guys, I got out of it.
Yes, you did.
I don't even know how.
Yes, you did. And we have evidence that you got out of it because your workbook about the budget is empty.
Yeah, it's empty. It has nothing on it. We did revisit it eventually. We were probably, already like 3 months married at this point.
Yes.
When we revisited the finances and we actually created a budget. But, had I done it when we were going through premarital counseling, we would have just started much earlier.
Absolutely. So on this episode, what we're trying to do is we're looking back 5 years since we've been married, just trying to think and reprocess our mind. What would life be like if we hadn't taken premarital counseling, and what premarital counseling mean to us in our relationship, how we think that it helped us and enriches our relationship. So that said, it's been 5 years, right? What do you think about premarital counseling now? Not that you've gone through it. What was your reflective thoughts about it now in hindsight?
I think it's good to note that when we started it, it wasn't something that we were forced into. We seeked it. A friend of yours offered it, and we said, why not?
Yes,
we were very open to it and willing to put in the work. And I think that's a huge thing, right?
Yes.
Nobody's forcing you to do it. You're going into it willingly and you have an open mind about it. And I think that was really helpful for us. Now, the conversations that we had, they were deep. They were real. They were things that have came up in our marriage that I think we have been able to process and get through without major difficulties.
Yes, absolutely. And we recorded an episode called we were so excited about a product that we launched, our first ebook. We launched it, and on that episode we were talking about the different categories that we discussed during premarital counseling. So go back and listen to that episode. It's a great episode. So some of the categories including like finances, spirituality, sex, family, all of those things. Those are important things that, when you're dating somebody, you just, you're so deeply in love, but you don't really conversate. You don't even think about the deep conversations that, in time, as your relationship grows, as your relationship develops, in time, those issues would actually resurface. And so because of premarital counseling, we've been able to overcome a lot of the things that are showing up now. We've been able to sit back and just communicate about them without them becoming an actual issue that is detrimental to our relationship.
Yeah. And when you talk about the category of family, it's your family, right? The family that you were raised in, but then we also have another section for family planning. If
Right.
that's something, that's a conversation that you and your potential partner want to have. Do you want kids? Do
Hmm.
I want kids?
Yeah.
Those are things you want to know.
How many kids?
Exactly.
When do you want to start having kids? All of those things, because these are all important questions, because it, it's a partnership, right? You want to be at a point where both of you, are like at a, if you're looking at a scale, these questions, when you ask yourself these questions, you want to be at a point where, for the most part, your scale matches each other. And so if at some point the scale doesn't match, one person is lower than the other, that is an opportunity for conversation. That is an opportunity to communicate and better understand the other person as well.
Mm-hmm. The guide also includes some personal questions. It includes some starting questions. I think the starting questions are fun, just like things that you've done as a couple
Yeah.
so far together.
Yep. Go ahead. I was gonna say, outside of the normal questions that you would ask your loved one or your partner or somebody that you care about.
Like, what's your favorite color?
Yeah.
That
Oh.
is definitely not a question in our guide. Like, you should. Those
You-
are questions you ask on like the first date.
that's right.
That's not what we mean by these questions, guys. Like, these
No.
are questions that are meant to be thought provoking.
Yeah.
They're meant to be fun, but also serious.
Right. Like, it actually forces you to think.
Yeah, it forces you to have those difficult conversations
Yeah.
ahead of time, so that when you're going through it, you're not sitting there trying to bang each other's heads
Yes.
because you can't figure it out.
Exactly. Like, for example, the question about finances. Yasmin has said it. She's never shy to tell you that when we first started, she did not want to do anything budgety, because she thinks I was controlling her, telling her what to do with her money or what not to do with her money. She's always brought it up because she's not shy to say it. But that is a conversation that, we've had over the years, and has changed the way you view money, the way you handle money, the way you spend money, and the way you save money.
100%. I'm budget savvy. I'm the one that keeps up with our budget.
Yes.
I overall don't spend as much money as I used to. I think before, it's also that like personal work, right? Like, I grew up in a household where money was scarce, so my mindset was, I'm gonna run out of money, like
Right.
literally at all times.
Right.
And I've had to do that, internal work, and I've had to learn to trust my partner with my money. But I think overall, financially, I feel like we are the healthiest we've been. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I agree
Okay.
with that. And financially, absolutely. And then also other parts of the relationship, like our communication has improved and we continue to get better, because it's very, very important for us to, for the most part, to be, especially when it comes to parenting, the thing that we're doing together, it's very important for us to be on the same page at most of the time, because if you're not on the same page most of the time, the kids would exploit the gaps. They would exploit the disconnect. And so you don't want to be, because at the end of the day, you don't want to make your partner looks like the mean one, or the person that, that's lost all the time. So that's why that communication aspect, especially when you start adding more people to the family, it's very crucial. And so I am very thankful that we chose premarital counseling to help us work through those difficult things before we started getting into family planning and bringing kids to this world.
I think with communication too, the biggest way that it helped us is that you and I don't have big, explosive, major arguments.
No.
We have small, petty little fights.
Yes.
The kind of fights like, I don't know, just like stupid little things. Like, you didn't help me blank.
Yeah.
Or you forgot to do blank.
Yeah. Forget to do blank, or you are upset and I don't want to engage in conflicts, you still get mad. So you're mad at first, but I don't want to engage. So you get mad for not being engaging in that conflict. So it's like a double patty.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like overall though, like there hasn't been a single point in this relationship where I've been like, I'm going to divorce Tijani. Like
Right.
this is just, it's not working out. I made the wrong choice. That thought has like never crossed my mind.
Yep. And we continue to ask God to push those thoughts far away, all those evilness, all those bad juju stuff far away from our relationship, because we don't want that. We don't need those type of things. We continue to enhance, enrich our lives and our relationship together. That's what this is about. It's about love and growing together.
Sure. So
I sounded like a preacher.
yeah. Do you want to go over our like personal profiles?
Absolutely.
So this is 5 years ago, 2019.
Yes. That sounds
In
fun.
terms of context, let's think about Yazmin was in grad school,
Disclaimer.
working full-time job. We were living together, but we were not married yet.
Okay. All right. I like your disclaimer.
They're
What
not disclaimers. They're just
reality?
setting the stage. Setting the stage, okay?
Okay.
So we had to do the first part of the premarital counseling was like a survey that we each did independently to kind of look at us and our personalities. We are both assertive.
Yes.
We're able to express our feelings
Yes.
and ask for what we need.
Yes.
We are both very confident.
Yes. Oh yeah. We we are pretty very confident, all right?
We are not avoiders.
Nope.
So we don't minimize issues just so that, we don't have to deal with it directly.
Yeah, we talk about them because
We do.
the issues don't go away.
They don't. They just get worse.
That's right.
Yeah. And neither one of us felt like we were being controlled or dominated by the other partner.
Yeah, it's more like a partnership, like almost like a on implicit. Well, yeah, implied, right? It's implied partnership, like a 50-50 or 100% stake. Yazmin has 100% partnership. I have 100% partnership. I know, like, mathematically, it's a 50-50, but 50-50 don't work in a relationship. You have to bring your 100%. That's the only way the relationship works. And so Yazmin and I, we just go off of, like, strengths. She's strong at some things. I'm strong at some things. And when that happens, she leads some things and I lead some things. So that's what we go off of. It's not about gender roles or female versus male roles or 50-50, all of those things. No, we don't do that. We'll go off of strengths and communication.
So speaking of strengths, so these were the areas that were strengths for us. And we had 3 of them were hundreds for us. Our communication,
Hey.
our partner style and habits,
Uh-huh.
and our sexual expectations.
Ooh.
You're impressed by that one.
Oh, yeah. Super impressed.
Leisure activities were also a good area of strength for us. And then as well as family and friends. Areas of possible strength, conflict resolution, relationship roles,
Yes.
and then also our faith.
Yes.
Now, our biggest and really only area of growth was financial management.
Oh, yeah. That's because we didn't have any money. So what are you going to manage? Stress.
And then based on our results, we were told that we were categorized as a vitalized couple with strengths in most areas of our relationship. Vitalized couples have high satisfaction with their relationship. We may have some areas of growth, but our strong relationship skills should help us work through them.
Yep.
And we have a great foundation to build upon, which I feel like all those things were very accurate. Like,
Yeah.
the finances was our area of growth. And once we got it together, I feel like our marriage got even stronger because we had a goal that we worked on together. And that was like the biggest accomplishment we could have in that first year of marriage.
Yeah, it's important. And of course, when it comes to finances, right? We didn't have it. So we were like surviving and we were like sinking. So because both of us had debt, and so what are you gonna manage? You were worried about finances. I was worried about finances for lacking finances, and so of course those worries show up in the relationship because at the end of the day, we're trying to live, two people trying to live as one. And so those worries, the individual worries shows up in the relationship. And so it was very important for us to work through those individually and together. And so years down the road, we've been able to work through our financial situation. And thankfully now, we're okay and we continue to grow from there.
Yeah. At the time, our stress levels were very different. Tijani's was very low and mine was very high. That's why I like to set the stage because remember, your girl was in grad school, working full time. I think you were just working full time at the time.
Yeah.
You were supporting me through grad school.
Yep, I was working full time, and that was mostly my responsibility.
And
correct.
by support, I mean Tijani was making meals, cleaning, cooking. We were living together. But he held it down, guys. He held it down.
Well, don't skip this page. I want us to give. Do you want to give examples of some of our stressors?
You had none. Your one stress was financial concerns.
All right, then give me your 20 stress.
Okay. Well, my job was a stressor.
Uh-huh.
And then wedding related stuff.
That's right. Okay.
Then, I was busy at the time, so I didn't exercise as much. I wasn't sleeping as much. I clearly owed too much money.
Yep. Credit cards, loans, etc.
I was also, do you remember? Okay. This one, like my health, right? So physically, that was around the time that I had like knee surgery.
Yes. Those were tough times. Yep.
They were tough times for me.
Yeah.
And that kind of played into like exercise. I just had a lot going on.
Yeah, it was hard. And maybe my financial stress, because I only had one financial concern, it stems from all the things that you were going on, and I'm like, how are we gonna be able to
probably
manage all of this?
This girl's got expensive taste and no money. I don't blame you. I would have been scared too, stressed out about it.
Exactly. So you want to give one more stressor, or you want to move to one of my favorite one? All right, let's do this. This is what I want us to do. Do you remember when we were going through the counseling, we had to come up with our wish list?
Our communication wish list?
Yep. She had asked us to come up with 3 things that we would like more of or less of in our relationship. Can you give us examples of what your wish lists are and tell us how they are going now? One at a time.
Okay. I have 3. I'm going to start with one that we accomplished.
Positivity first.
It says, I wanted more spiritual moments together.
Okay.
And that one we've accomplished.
Yes.
I think now, now that our faith is the same, we can pray together. We have moments where we bring that.
Yeah. Yeah,
into our household.
That is one of the biggest accomplishment of my life, actually. But that's good.
So I feel like we did a really good job with that one.
Mm-hmm.
What's one of your examples?
All right. So I have here, since you're starting with positivity, I have here more encouragement of one another and be each other's priority.
I think we've done that.
Yeah, we've done that. And I think I had that because in the beginning, we were just, I was still, trying to divide my time between friends, between you, between family members. And so my priorities weren't straight. And so I felt like I had to do a better job, prioritizing you and putting you as like my main priority over all else. And so over the years, I've been able to accomplish that.
Oh, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it was more so about me than you.
I think it was about setting boundaries.
Yeah,
for you.
I keep working on that because I have issues setting boundaries between me and my friends. So, but I've gotten better.
You have.
One of the biggest thing I did, I moved away from them. So.
Okay, well now they're gonna think you moved away because of me.
Nah, I moved, to set boundaries
I think
because now you have to cross the border to come to me.
no, you don't.
Yes,
What border?
the states, different states.
You're crazy. Anyways, I think it was an area for both of us because the other way I see it too is like when we chose to move cross country, the people we were choosing to do it for was each other and our children.
That's true. Yeah.
And so I think that was like the biggest test of that.
Yeah.
We accomplished this. We
Yeah.
were willing to leave like everything behind,
Yeah.
including family, friends, just to do something
For us.
for us.
Yeah, let me just clarify. This had nothing to do with any of my friends. So. Yazmin put it the best way. This was for us and our future kids. And so that's what we did it for. So give me another one of your wish lists.
My other one was more date nights so that we don't fall into a routine.
How's that coming along?
I don't even know what a date night is. When's the last time you and I had a date?
Before the podcast launched.
Oh, no. We had one for our anniversary.
Ah, yeah, we did.
That's the last one that we had for our 5-year wedding anniversary. My sister came to town and she watched the kids.
So April.
And
Okay.
he took me to get Korean barbecue.
Oh yeah.
And the melting pot for dessert.
Yeah, you didn't want to go to the melting pot, but you wanted to go there for dessert. So we hit both of your restaurants.
You always complain that you don't get enough food at the melting pot. So I was like, let's go to Korean barbecue because you get all you can eat and there's no restriction.
Well, thank you for adjusting for me.
And then, but still take me to get dessert at the melting pot.
All right, so I have here.
Wait, what? How? Okay, we brought up a thing that we still haven't accomplished. What are we gonna do to make more time for date nights?
Oh yeah, so more time for date night. I think what we can do is become friends with more neighbors that are younger, that are like our age group, that have kids, and we can alternate. One day they can we can watch their kids. They go on dates. Like when we went to San Diego, we did that with our friends. Something like that. We need to make more friends in our area that are about the same life journey with us, and we'll alternate date nights. Other than that, I think, because the reason why I said that, because you don't trust random people around your kids, and so because of that, we can't just even if we can afford to pay somebody, we may not trust them around the kids, and so because of that, it would have to be like a relationship thing where we know the people, we trust them, and they can be around the kids, and we can go on dates. So that is something that we need to explore. What do you think about that?
So you're saying make friends with kids just so that we can help each other.
Yes. And if you trust them to be around your kids, then we can help each other. And
I think it's also just like the season of life, though. Like our kids are really young right now.
Exactly.
Yazmin is 2.
Yes. And so stuff like that, we have to, or we keep taking advantage of family members when they're in town, and we will, ask them to watch the kids, and then we can go spend time with us.
I think a reason why we don't do it as much is like my mom's our nanny during the day, and so she's worked all day watching Yazmin, and then if we want to go on a date, we don't want to ask her to watch Yazmin
Exactly.
at night too.
Exactly. We want to be
now,
considerate.
Shouldn't I guess if that's the case, right? Because we're being considerate. Why don't we just do more? I guess not date nights, but what if we did just more family nights?
Yeah. As the kids get older, yeah, we can do more family nights. We can start doing them now. We just have to be creative. Remember that one time I brought Valentine's date to the house rather than going out?
Well, Yazmin was really young, yeah. So
we can do more of that. We just have to be creative on how we can do that. Bring the fun home instead of going out.
Or we can take them out too.
Or that too. Yeah, a combination of those.
I'm just trying to get creative here. Like, how can we actually implement? I don't want to go on a date every week, but maybe once a month.
All right, let's do this. Since we're working on the ideas right here on this episode, let's ask the listeners to send us ideas. They have ideas. They're smart. We know you have creative ideas. Send them to us. so we can start using those. Send us what you think.
By the time this episode airs, we're gonna be 2 kids in, and
All right, I'll push this episode to the front. So,
no, it's
so,
fine. It's fine.
so we can get ideas.
We'll figure it out.
All right, send us your
Okay.
ideas.
What's another one of your wish list?
I have less of saying, "You never listen to me."
I still say you never listen to me.
You see, 5 years later, she still says it. So we need to get better at that.
I think and I feel that sometimes when I voice an opinion or a concern, it is not all the way heard.
Look at my wife using the I statements. She, all of a sudden, the stuff she learned in counseling just kicks in. I feel, I love it. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I will start getting better at listening, actively listening to you so that, we can avoid saying things like this.
There we go. Just clean your ears and then...
And be attentive.
Yes.
I can work on that.
Okay, great.
All right, what's your last one?
Less time spent figuring out daily life choices, like what to eat.
How's that coming along?
I know that I cannot be the only person. Like, the hardest question as an adult is, what am I going to eat today?
Every week.
But it's not just every week, it's every day.
Yes.
What are we having for dinner tonight? And it's the most dreading, the most difficult to answer. For me, sometimes even time consuming. I don't have time to go to the grocery store every day. I go once a week, as I'm sure many of you do. So I got to think about, okay, this week, what are we having? Wow. So that I can make my grocery list and get it done. I literally have times where I will ask Tijani, what are we eating? Mm-hmm. What are we having for lunch this week? Mm-hmm. And it's crickets. Mm-hmm. Or his favorite response, why don't we start with air? Air was funny the first time it was brought up. But right now I'm pregnant. I can't eat air. If I have nothing to eat, I'm going to eat you, bro. So...
all right, I'll get better. I have a suggestion.
What?
We can type your recipes into ChatGPT, and then once a week, just ask ChatGPT, hey, what should I eat this week?
ChatGPT doesn't know what I'm in the mood for.
Well, train it.
Train it.
I'll give you my last one. Less of diminishing things that I've done because you're upset.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I need to be, like, the way that I see it now is you do 20 great things, right? Mm-hmm. Get 0 praise for them. Right. And then the minute you mess up and do something wrong, I'm like, see? You're always doing something wrong.
Yes. I've mentioned to you several times, do not use the word always or do not use the word never. You never help me. You never do this. You always do
blank.
They are not healthy.
Always forget blank.
Exactly. But when I do the positive things, I don't get no pat in my back. But God forbid I do one wrong thing, man. My feet are swept under my feet.
What?
And my feet are swept under my feet. Is that a thing?
I don't think I've ever heard it that way.
Okay, so what I'm trying to say is when I do one thing wrong, the world crashes. I've never done anything good. We're working on that and we're getting better by the day. Do you agree?
I agree that I need to be more sensitive with my use of language.
Yes.
And stop using words such as always and never.
That's what we're talking about. All right, those are things that those were our wish list items 5 years ago, and we're still working on them. That is the reason why the premarital counseling thing suggests that you do checkups every year to enrich your relationship, because at the end of the day, it is like an investment. When you invest in your relationship, it gets stronger and it gets healthier. So that's why, now we're actually, coming back and discussing this and telling you exactly what premarital counseling means to us. So I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Your life before premarital counseling and your life now. Looking back, did you like the decision that you make for going through premarital counseling?
Yeah, I think it was one of the biggest investments in our relationship. I think that if more people invested in premarital counseling, which is going to help you in your marriage,
Mm-hmm.
I think we would have less divorce rates.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that overall, you're investing more in that union. You're investing more in that sense of understanding one another
Mm-hmm.
better and really having those difficult conversations
Mm-hmm.
before things get rough.
Yes.
I think that more we could avoid more people, leaving each other after only a couple months. We could avoid more people divorcing. We could avoid more people becoming single parents because it gets tough. Like, that's the reality. Like, marriage is a choice you're making every day, and marriage is something that you are working towards really every day. You're choosing to be with that partner. And so you need to put in the work. It
Absolutely.
just depends. Do you want to do the work before or at the beginning? Or do you want to do it when you're in the middle of it and you're struggling and you can't
Yeah.
find a way out?
Yeah. That's a good point. I like the way you put it. And do you have anything else to add before we wrap up this episode?
Yeah, I was going to go through our personalities.
Okay, let's take a look at that.
You're very social. You scored high on the social scale.
Okay.
That's outgoing and extroverted.
Why are you reading it like that?
That's what it says.
Oh,
Whereas
okay.
I'm an average social person.
Uh-huh.
I value privacy.
Yes.
I don't always want to be in a group. That was a big thing when we first got married.
But that's what we're talking about when I said that my priority were not the way that I wanted them
Like,
to
I
be.
remember me always saying, like, oh, we should go on a hike, for example. Tijani would be like, yeah, let's bring a group of friends and bring a grill. And I'm like, no, like, I just want to bring a sandwich and go on a hike with you. I don't want to bring a grill and the crew.
Yes. I've gotten better, I think.
You have.
Okay.
Now, how flexible we are with change. You're more open to change.
Mm-hmm.
You're average, whereas I'm more low on change, meaning I'm more down to earth, practical, less interested in new ideas and experiences, where you're more abstract, creative.
Yes.
Yeah. I think the way that's played into our relationship is, in general, I think, like, you're a little more creative
Yeah.
with,
Thank
like,
you.
the projects,
Mm-hmm.
things that you see happening for our family, and I'm a little more realistic.
Yeah.
And so we, like, kind of balance each other out.
You need it. You need it. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
This other one, like organization, it's interesting because I don't consider myself uh, organized. I definitely don't think that I'm more organized than you. But
But it says that to be organized, you're reliable. Which I think you're
okay,
reliable.
yeah, that makes sense.
You're goal oriented.
Yeah,
You have a plan in mind. You
Yeah.
work to achieve your goals.
okay. Well, the descriptions, matches that. That is true.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I like the personality scales were a very good indication of the individual strengths and things that we needed to discuss more. So
It says you're a people pleaser. No, it doesn't. I'm lying.
the way you said it, I feel attacked.
No, it says that you are trusting, friendly, and cooperative.
Yes.
You value very high, like getting along with others, being helpful, being considerate.
Yes.
You view others as good people.
Yeah. Yeah. I view most people as good people. So that is a good that's a good emotion. It's a good description of my personality for sure.
Yeah, mine just says that I'm more assertive, less cooperative.
Oh yeah, you can definitely be stubborn.
Yeah.
you a rebelde.
That I
Yeah.
can be competitive and proud for sure.
Yes. Yeah, that's those are good attributes, and it's
I stand up for myself. I think it's like my way of like making up for my height because I'm short. I'm not gonna let people take advantage of me.
oh yeah, yeah. Sometimes you become the bully, but you're shorter than most people. But it's yeah, you are the bully. But
Ooh, what about? Yeah, I am. What about emotional steadiness? It says you scored really high.
oh yeah,
You're relaxed, calm, less prone to distress.
yeah, yeah. I don't like stress, and I don't like things to stress me
I think
because
that's still you.
yeah, because the way I see it, I try to control most of the things around me, and I don't give too much power to things for it to control me. So um and that shows in this scale.
It does. Whereas I'm more emotionally sensitive. I can get upset very easily. I don't handle stress very well. I've gotten better over time.
Yeah.
I've decreased stressors.
Yep. Yep. It's all about like finding like coping skills and increasing that coping mechanism and all that, and just keep working on yourself internally.
hmm It says I could be more prone to anxiety, anger, or depression, which are all true.
Yeah, I mean, going over these things makes me feel like we could become like a facilitator for this thing. Like
Maybe.
we can help our friends, you know, and that are looking to get married and counsel them. We should consider that. We should think about that maybe in the future.
When I just read this last statement, it reminded me of something. Like I remember when we had already been married. It was probably 2020 around there,
Mm-hmm.
and we had been married for about a year. And I remember I was going through some just like difficulties emotionally.
Okay.
I was going through some like anxiety and depression, and I remember at the time I would just rely on you a lot. I feel like I've always just kind of relied on you. And then one time I was listening to a podcast that was like talking about the importance of when you're really struggling, you shouldn't just rely on your partner
Yeah.
because that's your partner, you know? Like you don't want to go to them for everything, especially when it comes to like mental health because
Yeah.
sometimes you just need to realize and accept I need to reach out to a professional
Yeah.
because my partner, as much as they love me and they want to help me, they are not a professional.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time that really encouraged me to seek therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that really helped. I think it helped our marriage.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember that conversation very clearly, and I remember we came to the conclusion that the role of our partner, me and you, is not to fix each other.
Yes.
It's your responsibility to seek the help that you need to get those traumas, those stressors, those depression, anxiety things, situated. Your partner isn't there to fix you. And I remember us talking about that very vividly.
That was huge in our marriage. And I think
Absolutely.
it was helpful because, I mean, clearly in the profiles, you're a lot more emotionally stable than I am.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously for me, it's very easy for me to kind of get wrapped up. Like I remember it was around 2020 and it was right after the car accident. Like
Yeah. Yeah,
we
you
were
were going
going
through.
through a rough time
Yeah.
and I was really going through it emotionally. And I just remember me like kind of just like relying on you too much,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I just want to point out that there are cases that times when if you feel like, it'll be beneficial for you, maybe it's best to like seek out that therapy for
Yeah.
yourself, kind of like do that inner work on yourself
Yes.
so that you can help your relationship and help your partner. And
Right.
don't just put that burden on your partner because it's not their responsibility to fix you or make you happy.
Yeah. That's very big, and it's very important, and it's true. And your partner can support you. They can help you through the journey, but they cannot fix you. You have to do the work yourself.
And we're currently going through that again. I'm being more proactive this time though, because last time with when I was pregnant with Jasleen, postpartum, I had just a lot of emotions, especially when I went back to work.
Right.
And I relied on you a lot for that too. Eventually, I did seek counseling, and this time around, I'm already doing it and I'm still pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I'm already being proactive about it, trying to change the narrative, because
Right.
I know I struggled with Jasleen, and I don't want to go through the same thing, and I don't want to place too much of that burden on you.
Right.
And I want to do the internal work.
I like it. And I'll be right here to support you, whatever means and resources that you need from my end. We'll work together to ensure that you get those resources and to continue working on yourself. Because when you're better, when you're good, when you feel good, when you do good, when you're present for our family, we all benefit. But when you're struggling, we are also affected. And so it's very important for the family for you to continue to be good and to be the best version of yourself. And you need to feel that you are the best version of yourself, not just us seeing it. You have to feel it. And so whatever that is needed to get you there, we will ensure that, you get those resources to help you get where you need to be, because we want you to be your best.
Thank you. I think that's it. I feel like overall, I mean, we're at a point where if you've been listening to us for a while, you know how our communication is. You can tell just by listening to this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that, if you've ever even considered premarital counseling, I would just go for it. And I hope you can see how, Tijani and I, we've been married for 5 years. And no, not every day has been butterflies and rainbows. But overall, we've had some very great successes. We've also had some very low times. And through it all, we've been able to come out still loving one another, still committed to one another, still committed to our marriage. And it's strengthened our relationship. It has helped us accomplish goals together. And so if the thought is even crossing your mind, I hope you listen to it and you go for it and let us know how it went.
Thanks for tuning into How We're Doing It. We appreciate you taking the time to listen to our stories and experiences. If you find this episode helpful, please subscribe and leave us a review. To stay connected, visit howwe'redoingit.com for more details and follow us on social media. Until next time, keep thriving and stay inspired.